to go. Okay, cool. Alright. 40 orb going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so let's try this again. Spyro 2, 40 orb. No major skips, no boss skips, whatever you want to call it. This game can be beaten extremely quickly, as you saw in the any % race earlier today, but I will be playing a fair bit more of the game, collecting a bunch more stuff. So the goal of this category is to beat the game without skipping into any of the bosses, which requires us to get all the talismans and 40 orbs in order to unlock the final door. Nice, I got that this time. Start off getting orbs right at the start here in Glimmer. Use something called a flame charge jump in order to hit those lamps from the ground. You couldn't really see them because they're high up, but I don't know how loud game audio is, but you can hear them go off if you hit them. Normally you get a superfly power up to fly around the level, but that takes ages, so instead we just do that. So that's one orb, that's the talisman, and then we have another lamps challenge. Nice, I got that this time as well. This is a much better Glimmer than the first attempt. So yeah, we just kind of have to run around here, get a couple of convenient gems, get the second orb, and then head out. And then yeah, you have to exit Glimmer via the portal. You can't pause and exit in Glimmer, so kind of defines the routing a little bit. So yeah, I don't know how many... oh, nice. I don't know why I did that. I don't normally do it like that. If you saw the any % run, you'll be familiar with the movement tech somewhat. You have something called a double jump, where you stand still, like don't press any directions, and then jump and then charge, and you charge upwards out of your jump, giving you a bunch of extra heights. Call it the double jump. It's one of the things that breaks this game wide open. So we're going to do the first part of this level as intended, because we need to kill 8 enemies to activate a power-up. But then afterwards, and hopefully this goes as well as it did in the first attempt. So yeah, kill these guys by charging kind of next to them, so you don't bonk. And then move. Good. Alright. So that's a beetle proxy. If you saw the 3 Eddy run a bit earlier, you'd be familiar with fodder proxies. Essentially, you flame the beetle and then charge jump into its corpse and then hit X while you're inside it, and you get propelled upwards. There's a technical explanation for how it works, but I'm not really going to go into that right now. We'll be doing a couple more proxies in this run, but that's the one I was most scared of. And then a little supercharge trick here on the rock to get to the talisman a bit quicker. And that is Idle Springs. Pretty fun level when it goes well. Can be very irritating though when Beetle doesn't want to cooperate. So yeah, in the first 3 levels here, I need to be collecting a bunch of gems, because I need to buy the swim power-up. That didn't work. I need 500 by the time I finish the... well, not... like, there's a few I can get in the home world if I don't have 500, but for the most part I want 500 by the time I leave the next level. And I have 262 right now. So I'll be getting a fair few in myself. So this is just a little tutorial. It's supposed to teach you how to jump and glide and hover, do all the basic movement, but it gives you an orb at the end of it, and it's worth doing. And then this jump lets us get this orb early. Normally you need to get swim and then swim through a tunnel to get up there, but we can just grab it right off the ledge. and head straight into Colossus. So that was a flame charge I did on those baskets. Normally I wouldn't do this a second time, but I kind of forgot to mention this last time actually. That's no skip. You just kind of jump through the scenery instead of getting the NPC to open it. And then yeah, flame charges. If you flame a barrel, the gem normally just pops into the air and doesn't home in. But if you charge it, the gems do home in.
Oh, thank you.
If you kind of flame and then charge very quickly, the gems home in as if you had charged that. Good controls. Good camera, thank you. Alright, so we talked to the professor there to activate this challenge, where we have to flame a bunch of statues that are scattered around the level. This is convenient because we want to be going around to get gems anyway. Okay, we did. That was not quite the movement I intended. Dying in this level is really bad because the statues also respawn, like the ones that you got since your last checkpoint. You have to hit all those again. So, and you don't really hit any checkpoints while doing the statues challenge until right here. So you would basically have to do all the statues again. So yeah, we could just exit the level now with the talisman, and that's what we do in 14 Tally, but because we need orbs, we want and a few more gems. And I can get this statue and then the gems on the ice, which are quite convenient to get. Alright. So that's my gem count. 501. So that's close to perfect. I need 500 right about now, so 501 is really good. If you have too many over 500, then it means you detoured for gems that you didn't need. So
Hello there.
you've kind of wasted time if that happens. So yeah, we buy swim, and then we can swim, obviously. This is going to be important in a few places. You could theoretically do this category without buying swim, but it's probably not faster. And if it is faster, it requires a very, very difficult trick in this section here. You need a frog proxy up to an orb. Very, very hard to do, and probably not even faster. So, I need to catch a tight cycle here. I stop at flame charge, so that's a gem, but that's fine. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that platform cycle is... wow, good pun. That platform cycle is pretty tricky. Need good movement at the start. So from here on out, the gem requirement is actually really lax. Like, you don't need many gems. Detouring for gems past Colossus is usually not worth it. You just kind of get stuff that is right in your way. And then, cool little trick here that you don't see in any other categories is this little squeeze. Oh, nice. Good job. Okay, there we go. That was really good the first time and I just didn't turn, so I went into the wall.
The next.
So yeah, that's a squeeze proxy. Again, you would have seen one of those in the 3 anyway. You just kind of get stuck in that little alcove and you get bounced out. If the game thinks that Spyro's stuck, it tries to push him out of wherever he's stuck from. You can get some extremely high proxies from that as well. You can end up like so high over the level, but kind of have a setup to control my height. Doesn't always work, but it's pretty consistent. I'm going to try a trick here, which I might not normally go for. That was a weird setup. No, I really want to try this. Did we make it? No, oh, rip. I'm not going to do that again. But, so that's first turtle. You can skip right to the end of the level doing that. You skip a bunch of gems, but it's no big deal in this category. So instead I have to go all the way around. That's really annoying. There's essentially a hole in the ceiling of that room, and you can proxy through it and get right to the end. But it's not really worth going for again, I don't think. Instead we just do this proxy to get up there instead. So yeah, that saves some time. I don't know how much, maybe like 15 seconds or something. If you get it first try. Takes a little bit of time to set up. Not as much as it took me right there, that was really slow, but... Yeah, so we just get that first turtle's orb. There is another orb that guy gives you, but the challenge takes about a minute the second time round, and it's just not worth getting. So we just head straight over to the talisman. I guess I should point out, normally you need the climb ability to get up there, but we're able to proxy off turtle heads to get up there instead, because we don't have climb. Alright. Do a cool little out of bounds here. And to a swim in air. Grab this orb. So that swim, so obviously you could kind of see how the out of bounds worked. You get stuck inside the door and just jump through the side. But the swim in air, well, most swim in airs in this game work by charging through a water plane from out of bounds. And the water plane underneath that little stream there stretches really far down, so you can jump out of bounds like that. Okay. Good. So that's sheep proxy. Let's just skip right to the end of the level. And that is all of the proxies in this run, I believe. And none of them trolled me, which is awesome. So yeah, that works similarly to Beetle, although the sheep has a bigger hitbox and it goes, like, you need to do it from further away and kind of slower. So the setup is different, but the principle is the same.
You did it!
And then that out of bounds is really dumb. You just kind of swim into the floor, and the invisible wall doesn't push you back for whatever reason. So you got out of bounds. And the challenge that I just got an orb for, you're supposed to talk to the seahorse, and he gives you, like, he opens one of the towers. You go to that tower, you free one of the seahorses, then another tower opens, and there's 6 of them in total. Go all the way through the level. It's really, really slow. But by doing that out of bounds, we can just swim directly into the 6th tower, and he doesn't care about the rest of his kids. Turns out it's just the 6th one that he cares about. He gives you the orb. And then Manta, this is pretty self-explanatory. You just you just follow the seahorse, swim through the rings. You can grab a few gems during this challenge. Doesn't waste any time. You've also got to be careful not to swim in front of the seahorse. You go slightly faster than the seahorse in this challenge, so if you, like, I'm swimming into his back right now. If I were to, like, go around him, I would pass him, in which case the rings would spawn behind me and I'd fail the challenge. You've got it backwards there, Blitz. This category has worse proxies than 14. It doesn't have penguin, which is nice, but, like, it does have turtle. And climb skip is fairly easy. Anyway, so this is Crush. We've got all the talismans from the first homeworld, and that lets us go into the first boss. This boss is essentially an auto-scroller. You can kind of optimize it a bit, but it's exactly the same every time. You just want to move him onto this button and then keep him there the whole time. And you do that by taking damage to make him not run this far. Not really too much to say about this. So I guess the optimization to this fight is that Crush always turns to face you. And so, by kind of moving yourself so that there's like a line between you and then the button and then Crush, so that you can manipulate him to face the button that he's about to walk to, which saves some frames from him not having to turn around. And then just grab his sheep at the end. Alright, so that's the first time loss. That's the hardest part of the run. Like, this next level's kind of tricky, but like once you get out of the first home world, you're usually on pretty good, usually in a pretty good position. It's got all the proxies in it. Oh, sorry, I keep having to mute myself to cough. Sorry if that's annoying. Alright, so Crystal Glacier, this level has a bunch of cool skips. It's a hard level if you go for all the hard stuff. I'm going to be killing 15 enemies here to activate a Superfly power-up. For the longest time, this orb wasn't considered to be worth getting in this category, but maybe like a bit over a year ago, Saboom redid this category, and turns out that this, as well as a couple of other orbs, are actually worth getting. So this is hard. Good shit. Okay. That is not an easy jump. And then, can I get this? Yes, easy. Alright. So, jumped across the gap at the end, at the start, then jumped, like did a wall glide flop up a wall, then what we call a Spyro man to get up the next little thing and skip the bridge, where you kind of charge, you kind of do a double jump while gliding along a wall. That's the inputs, it's really weird, but it gains extra height. And then finally a little double jump to get straight into the talisman ring. So I essentially did all the hardest strats there. I failed the wall glide flop once, but it's fine. And then this is Draclets. You need the Superfly to make this fast. You can do it without the Superfly, but it's slow. So that's why we have to kill 15 enemies. Nice. Cool.
You insane.
So that wasn't the best Draclets, but overall that was a pretty smooth glacier. It sucks to have that level right after. Like, you get out of Summer Forest and you're like, yeah, I'm good, I have a run. And then you do Crush, which is really boring, and then you just, like, fail one of the jumps in Glacier and cry. But no, that was very good. So I'll go for a proxy at the start here that I almost never get, but it's cool when I do. Yeah, no. See, you flame that cat bat. He kind of goes all like he does his death animation, and you can proxy off him while he's in that animation, and you can go straight here without having to do the jumps that I did. It saves a tiny bit of time. And then this is Dinos, which gave a lot of people trouble playing it as a kid, but when nice, it's lost time to try this one. Once you know the pattern, it's easy every time. It's always the same.
Uh-oh.
I think this Dinos 2 is one of the hardest challenges in the game as a kid. I know it was for me. But I know where everything's going to be, and I can just be prepared. Nice, didn't die.
Thank you for helping.
Easy peasy. Then, cool little jump here if I get it. Ah, okay, so you saw what I was trying to do there. We jump onto that bone and then you can jump straight over to this ledge, but I messed it up. And then I also missed a wall glide flop to get up there, so I had to do the easy strat. Alright. So Breeze Harbour is I think the first level we do where we don't get any orbs. There are 2 orbs in this level and they're both pretty slow. I think the Mines orb would probably be good if we had Fireball, but because this is no boss skips, we can't have Fireball at this point in time. So yeah, you'd have to do all the mines with the cannon, and it's very, very slow. So we just make a beeline straight for the talisman, which we do still need. Grab a couple of gems on the way. Cool thing here where we grab some... Oh, I missed the follow. You grab a couple of gems while you're talking to him. Yeah, very short level. Yeah, no trolleys in this run. You don't even do the trolley in 100%, because you can get up onto the track and get all the gears just without the trolley. Which is cool to see, and you'll see that in the 100% run a bit later in the marathon. Which you should all definitely check out, by the way. This is Climb Skip. Kind of self-explanatory, we skip getting climbed from Moneybacks. Yeah, you normally have to climb up some ladders to get up here, but by doing those jumps up on the arches and the roofs, we can skip right up here. We will end up getting climb later in the run, but in a kind of unorthodox way. I'll explain that when I get to it. So another level, okay. So that was supposed to be another Spyrothon to get over there, but just had to hover over instead. To the monkeys. This is a proper auto-scroller. You can kind of optimize it by hitting the monkeys like at the earliest possible time where they'll get in the barrel, but you can't speed Hunter up, unfortunately. Be careful not to get hit. I don't want to be on those sparks. For anyone who's not familiar with how sparks works, he picks up gems for you, but he's also your health. So if you take too many hits, he disappears, and you have to like manually touch gems to collect them. I'm on green sparks right now, so if I took one more hit, sparks would disappear, and I wouldn't have anyone to collect gems for me. I'm lazy, I don't want to actually have to pick up gems. So this little jump here skips to the end of the level. And grab the talisman. That monkey's orb didn't used to be in the route. It's like only just fast. It might be the slowest orb in the route. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but I think it is. Yeah, that's true. Pickup range is not affected by your health, which is nice. Alright, so Fracture Hills. We have to do this level kind of the intended way. You have to free these satyrs. They blow open this temple in which the talisman giver is. And you can skip into the temple early, but if you haven't freed all the satyrs, you can't talk to the talisman giver, and she doesn't give you the talisman. Yeah, you don't have fun. I tried to get a glide off there and it didn't quite work. You'll see one here though if I don't mess it up. Okay, yeah, so we kind of flame that guy as we glide past him and keep gliding during the cutscene. It's a little time saver.
It's great.
And then we're not going to get the last Satyr quite yet. We are going to first skip into here to grab this orb. Normally you need to get a supercharged power up, supercharge along the track to get this, but we can just go through the top of the roof like that. And then we're going to head to the Alchemist Challenge. Now, unlike in 100%, where we would have Fireball and could just destroy these guys, we actually have to push them around in this category. This is essentially an escort mission. We need the Alchemist to reach Hunter to, like, dissolve his concrete shoes or something. And these Earth Shapers would normally hit them on the way and mess them up. So we have to hit them all out of the way. But once we've done that, we have some spare time. So we can go and grab this Satyr, and then head off and grab the Talisman, while the Alchemist is just kind of going along this little track. Oh, okay. Alright, so that worked. He gives us the orb, we got the Talisman, and then we can kind of jump out of Hunter's little talk trigger before he talks to us again, and exit a little bit early. Yeah, no door proxy, sorry about that. Alright, so there's a little door that you won't see that you're supposed to need 8 orbs to open. I do have 8 orbs, so I could open it if I wanted to, but it's slightly quicker to just jump through that that little whatever that is, hole in the wall, I don't know. So, Magma Cone. We need 2 enemies here for a Superfly power up later, and then we are going to head into this little area. Well, we have popcorn. This challenge is dumb and random. You're not generally in danger of losing to Hunter, but you can lose a bunch of time just from bad RNG or bad execution. The way the popcorn spawns is not predictable. First one usually goes alright, but second one can be a pain. The way the popcorn spawns doesn't change between popcorn 1 and 2, but Hunter just gets much better at it. So he gets in your way a lot more, he gets more points. He ends up like stealing popcorn from you. Wow, this is pretty good. I promise he gets better. It looks like I'm just owning him. If you don't if you don't steal some off him, then you can very easily lose this challenge. Wow, that was a sick popcorn too.
You're really...
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say window because there's no glass or anything, but I guess it's a window. So yeah, that's popcorn, that went very smoothly. And then we head up here. Actually, I want to grab these gems because I'm a little bit short. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. I think I'm short. I don't really remember gem counts very well. Okay. So this is Party Poopers. This is the hardest minigame in this run. Doing it without Fireball, doing it the intended way, is tricky to do fast. There's some precise movement to grab these rocks, and sometimes they just miss for no apparent reason. That's definitely a thing. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to get the second super as well. Ah, haha, this is awful. Okay. I should be able to recover this. Okay, so I had to do that a very slow way. You can do this whole thing in one Superfly, but because of that mishap in the tunnel, I wasn't able to. And then this little sequence break is cool. I got hit by a rock, so that was interesting. So yeah, I got the orb for that challenge. But you didn't see me get it, but I did get it. And then I got teleported straight to the talisman. You get the talisman for standing on top of the volcano, and then you get the orb for killing the last guy, but it's like delayed, so you get time to get on the volcano like that. So yeah, that challenge, it went pretty badly there, but it can go way worse. If you run out of Superfly, then you are pretty much screwed. Because you don't even have climb, so you can't climb up the volcano. And if you've been zapped by Zoe by accident, then you are actually screwed. You have to exit the level. So yeah, this is shady. This level involves a lot of waiting for this hippo. And so we use that time we spend waiting to get a bunch of extra gems. We need gems. Well, we spent 400 gems to enter this level, and then we need another 400 gems to enter the next level. And you can see I only have like 170 right now, so I'm going to be getting a lot of gems in this level, plus a bunch in the home world afterwards. So yeah, I have to flame these trees to knock down the berries and to eat to break these doors. We can't break these doors without them. I don't have to kill enemies here, but sometimes Shorty can get stuck in this corridor, and it seems to be to do with like, getting stuck on enemies sometimes. And so I just kill all the enemies, it doesn't waste any time, and it seems to prevent him from getting stuck. I picked up that rock there, just so that I can use it later. It's a bit faster than picking it up when I go back. Talk to this guy to start an orb challenge, and then grab the talisman.
Thanks for helping me.
I could get the talisman at the end of the level. Like, there's two places where you can get the talisman in this level. There's no like time difference between them as far as I know, but I just get it as early as possible so I don't forget. So we need to kill these thieves. That's why we picked up the rock earlier. So we can just, that one is already spawned and we can just pick it straight up. And then get this last one, is my flaming M. Grab a few gems and some sparks refill while it's waiting to warp me. And we have 311, which is actually a really good gem count. That's pretty close to perfect. Could be a bit lower, but going too low means you have to get extras out here, which is slow. So yeah, I need 400 gems for the next level, but there are a bunch that I will get while I get this next orb. So we come out onto the roof here. Ah, nice. Jump onto this roof, which is kind of finicky. And then head over towards the orb on the island. Normally you have to, well, what you're supposed to do to get this is to go right up to the like turret of the tower, of the castle rather, and glide all the way from there, but we don't need to do that, we can just jump on the roofs. And yeah, there's 75 gems on that island, which is one of the reasons the gem count, the like gem requirement for this category is so low. Also, like, not tight, I guess. Because you get 75 right at the end there. So this is Zephyr, last level in Northern Plains. Do a little skip here to skip the first part of the level. Kill this guy, get some more sparks, because I kind of want to be gold coming up. And then we have to use the cannon to open the talisman room, but we can kind of head towards it while the cannon is flying, so we just save it a little bit of time that way. And we don't need any more gems for this run, so any gems that I collect from here on are purely accidental. And then this is a cool jump, hopefully I get it. Nice, okay. So that's harder than it looks. You have to hover under an invisible wall to get that. If you just like try and hover onto it from above, you'll hit an invisible wall and just fall down. But there's a little bit where the wall kind of dips down and the invisible wall doesn't. So you can hover underneath it, get to this bit a little bit quicker. Alright. So that's everything in Autumn Plains. If I have all the talismans, which I think I do, I'll get warped. Yeah.
Well done.
I have forgotten talismans before. It's not good. Generally Shady. That's the one I used to forget a lot. Or I just forget to go into Breeze Harbor. That's also a thing that can happen. So yeah, Gulp. This is the same in... Well, it's not the same in every category. The gist of the fight is the same in every category. You want to get double hits. First phase is always barrels, and it's pretty much random whether they drop in a configure. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. In a config where you can get a double. It's kind of bad that I'm green sparks now because I'm going to get chickens. If you're green or no sparks, then they drop fodder for you to get health back, and that means they're not dropping ammo. So I do want to take damage in this fight, just not quite so early. So yeah, the rocket phase is a free double. Should never miss that. Should never miss that. I have missed that before. Just kind of stay behind him. Yeah, that's the chicken I was talking about. Hopefully this works. Ah, fuck. Just gonna kill these. Where is he? Where's Gulp? Okay. Oh, I'm gold again. That was really dumb. Okay, so now I do want to take some damage because I want to end this fight sparksless. Ugh, I should have gone for the other one. This fight is not great. I'm not getting amazing luck, but I have missed out on a few doubles that I should have got. Okay, so I take damage there, and then I'm going to wait for the vultures to spawn before I take the next point of damage, in the hopes that they won't drop chickens. That probably wasn't really necessary, because I only need a single here. It's more important if you need a double off the last one. Because it's pretty rare that you'll get triple chickens. So yeah, took damage right at the end there, and the fight sparksless. It wasn't a great fight, but at least I got the health manipulation. So we need to head into Dragon Shores. There are faster ways to get in, but they involve proxies of penguins. Wow, nice. And we can't really do that, because if you hit a penguin, it gives you health, and we need to have no health, so we have to go in the slow way, but that's fine. Get that orb, it's just convenient. And then do some jumps to get out of bounds. Portals that aren't active, like this Dragon Shores one, you're not supposed to be able to get into Dragon Shores yet. So the portal is stored out of bounds directly underneath where it is supposed to be, like where it's going to end up. And so by getting out of bounds and just gliding through it, we can do that. And then this is cool. Okay, good. So that was that was Swag Swim. So normally, if you try and swim in Dragon Shores, your game crashes. Like if you get out of bounds and swim in that water, you just crash. But by being sparkless, you can prevent that from happening. So we get sparkless, we swim, the camera locks, and so we need to kind of do parts of that blind. You just learn inputs, and then you stop, you let the camera readjust, you do the next bit. And we grabbed the Fireball power-up, and we got into the Dragon Shores Theatre. So now we have Fireball. That's something that you're supposed to get after you've 100%ed the game. And it makes Winter Tundra and the final boss a bit faster, well, quite a lot faster. And Theatre gives us all abilities, which the reasoning for that will be explained in a little bit. Okay. Didn't die to that guy. I died to that guy in every one of my practice runs, so that's good that I didn't. Going in here on no health is a little bit risky. So yeah, this is Fireball. It's OP. You just certain challenges just get wrecked, like that yak. And then this level is on a global timer. There's a cycle of UFOs that spawns in as soon as you enter the level. So I should be good. Yeah, I'm good. Alright. I was a little bit slow, but and then I'm not going to get early, so I'll go this way. So yeah, that's UFOs 1. Because I did the first part of the level like fast, or like at the same speed as I normally do, I get the same cycle every time. And so I know exactly where the UFOs are going to be, and so I don't even need to get the super fly power up. And then you might have seen a bit earlier, and these guys are always on the same cycle as well. They spawn in the same place every time. So you might have seen that I climbed up a ladder a bit earlier in the level. I didn't have the climb ability before, but that's what Theatre does. What it does is it gives you all your gems back from money bags and gets rid of all the other money bags in the game that you haven't yet paid. And what that does is it gives you all the abilities, because I haven't yet paid full climb or head bash, so it just gives them to me. And so that was a head bash right there. I'll do a very important one in a bit, but that's just a little bit of swag. So I get that orb, and then head into Mystic Marsh. So yeah, Theatre was very good for this category. It's previously your options were either swimless, which I kind of mentioned earlier, which is very, very hard, or you had to get a different orb, like another slow one, something like Turtles 2, which is like an extra minute of time, or you had to get 1,000 extra gems to buy Head Bash, because we need Head Bash for an orb in the home world. But yeah, Theatre made the route for this category much simpler. So that's a little trick called Double Thieves. There's a little cutscene that plays after each of those thieves, but we hit 2 of them, and then we talk to the talisman guy, and it skips both of those cutscenes. We don't skip this one, we use the time to glide across here instead. Nice. And then the final one, we pause to skip through it. It's slightly faster to pause and unpause than it is to wait through that little cutscene. So yeah, as soon as I exit out of Mystic Marsh here, that will be the biggest reason that we do Theatre. There is an orb inside a rock in the home worlds, and it's extremely fast to get if you have Theatre. Just bang, straight there. But if you don't do Theatre, and you either have to get 1,000 gems to buy Head Bash to get that, or you have to get a different orb, which is very slow. So yeah, Theatre's a good thing in this category. This is actually the last level in the run. I need to kill 15 enemies for a Supercharge power-up, Submit the cycle. These enemies are very hard to kill if you don't have Fireball. Particularly the like blue beetle kind of enemies. You have to like charge them and then head bash them to kill them. But with Fireball they just die. Oh baby. Yeah, that's nice. Getting those early is great. That doesn't happen very often. I'm getting better at it though. Yeah, I did kill him. Okay. That is not all the enemies that I... What did I not kill? I'm missing a spirit. Yeah, so this can happen in this level. The enemies can just troll you and their spirit particles can just not... Oh wow, that guy didn't die. Okay. Why didn't I just get the backup enemy? I mean, yeah, it's kind of a backup enemy, not a good one, but that's really weird for that first guy to not die. That's a big loss. I should have done the wind musket. What am I doing? Okay, right. So yeah, that's really dumb. The enemies in this level just troll you. They either don't die or they die but their spirit doesn't like go to the power up straight away or something dumb. Yeah, so that's not going to get hit, but that's fine. So yeah, the reason I need this power up is not for these pumpkins, I can destroy those with Fireball, but because of these barn doors, they don't die to Fireballs. So that gives me this orb. That ended up being a very slow orb, but if the enemies don't troll you, it's fast. And that is 40. Which is all the orbs we need. We are done with collecting stuff, we just need to do the final boss. Pretty happy with how this run's gone actually, this death run. Been a couple of silly things. Yeah, that's what we need 40 orbs for, and that's what you skip into in every other category. You don't bother opening that door. But this is no boss skips, so... And then this boss just gets wrecked by Fireball. Doing this boss the intended way is really awful, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It's like Gulp, but even worse. Just random and slow and yeah, Fireball. Like even in any percent where you only use Fireball for this boss, it's still worth getting it, even with all the big detour you do for it. And then yeah, I did early hits. You just kind of shoot fireballs before the cutscene starts. Skip the cutscene quickly enough, and the fireball persists through. And Party Poopers was better as well. That's 40. That's actually a 48 with leaderboard time, because I started on New Game, and it's 18.5 seconds, so that's a 48. Good shit. No complaints there.
Spyro, Moneybags is very sorry that he made you watch on your way through Avalon. We want you to keep the gems as
So yeah, more people should run this category. It's not very popular for some reason. It's... I don't know. It can be annoying in the early game with all the proxies and stuff, and having a long summer forest, but I like it. It's a good category. More people should do it.
We can't, Spyro. Ripto may be gone, but he caused a lot of damage during his short stay. We'll be cleaning up for weeks. Just remember, though, that you can always get back to Avalar from Dragon Shores.
Alright, so what's up next? I didn't even check. I think it's Wally with ETD, if I remember rightly. Which you should definitely check out. Wally is a beast at that game. Yeah, no Wally Ripto. Alright, so that's another no major skips category. That's ETD without it only taking 2 minutes. Yeah, Distant knows it. Distant's a fucking old boy 40-orb runner. I learned 40-orb from watching Distant, so So yeah, definitely check out ETD. Some people say it's a bad game, but I think it can be a cool run. And Wally's good at it, so. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching the marathon. Be sure to stay tuned for all the rest of the runs. I've had a fair few viewers throughout this, so